Greetings and welcome to your Oracle message for the day. I am Kat Morgan and I welcome you to this video, to this channel, and to this space. Thank you so much for coming by and checking out the video, checking out the channel. For new and returning friends, everyone is welcome in this space. This channel is just about you. The only reason why I'm here is for you. If after you've listened to the video, you feel so inclined to like and or subscribe to it, I don't get any money for these videos, and this channel will never be monetized, but it does help the YouTube algorithm help other people find these videos and find this channel. So if you feel so inclined to do that, I would love for you to do that and help other folks grow this channel as well. So we have been going through the Enchanted Map Oracle cards deck by Colette Baron-Reid. Today's card is card number 28, Movement. And we got a lot of things going on in this card. Before we look at the book and find out what the extended reading is, let's just focus on the image of the card itself and what energy is coming to us directly from this image. You've asked for clarification or guidance, confirmation on something, and this message came to you, showed up in your feed, or you have a subscription and it already showed up in your, news for the YouTube channel, however you found this video. And whenever you find it, because it is timeless as a collective reading. So whenever you come across this video, it's the right time for you to be getting this message. So we've got from this card, first of all, just the images itself. Obviously, in the background, I see a red balloon. Actually, he's a rainbow balloon. It's beautiful. I see all of the colors of the rainbow. I can see from this image just the red, orange, yellow, green, but I know it's continuing on the other side into the blues and violets. So this balloon, for me, represents the ability to imagine anything, whatever is along about possible, even remotely conceivable, everything. There is nothing that's off the table here. And obviously we have an ostrich. Ostriches are very, very interesting creatures. They are ancient. They are one of the, like emus, one of the prehistoric birds. And I want to give you a little bit of information on ostriches. They represent the spiritual essence of grounding and stability. And with this, the balloon in the background with the colors that it's representing, the first through the fourth chakras, very strong grounding energy as well. So its inability to fly and its strong connection to the earth symbolize a grounded nature and a deep bond with the material world. It's got a heavy body and it can't fly, so it has to stay rooted to the ground. So ostriches reflect stability, solidity, and the ability to stand firm in the face of challenges. So grounding is very important with this card. I will just also mention, I've heard, like you have, the story, the myth about ostriches sticking their heads in the sand when there's danger. It's an urban myth. It's like the lemmings flying over the cliff. Doesn't actually happen. Doesn't really happen. So we can discard that image of the ostriches. They don't do that. If there's an actual imminent threat of mortal danger, they drop to the ground and they try to pretend that they're part of the dirt. So again, very grounding. When something happens, they don't run, they don't try to flee. They stand their ground literally and become part of the earth in the attempt to avoid danger and have the predator run away from them. So very, very important that we understand a lot of times the information that we have about things in the world aren't necessarily true. So finding the correct information may also be a part of the message for today. But other things about the ostrich, it will kick an opponent or a predator. If it has the opportunity, it will run. And ostriches are the fastest birds on the planet. They can run 60 miles an hour, 45, for a good distance, 45 miles an hour for a good distance. They can't run forever. They're birds, so they don't sweat. They don't have a lot of a way to get rid of heat, so they don't run for very long. So you don't want to run for very long. Whatever it is you're going through, you don't want to run from it. You don't necessarily want to kick it. Maybe sometimes we need to kick ourselves in the butt to get going on something, movement. Okay. But I think the ostrich in this case is giving us a sense of groundedness, of centeredness, of grace and stability. Okay. We also have a little windmill here on this island, and I just want to point out this ostrich is carrying basically what I think is his or her home with her. And we've talked a lot of times on this channel about carrying your peace with you, having this bubble around you of protection that you can feel, that you can see, that you can sense for yourself. It's about the length of your arm, okay, all the way around you. It's your basically your personal space, what you feel most comfortable with. You'll let other people inside that boundary if you trust them, if they are safe, if you know they are safe. When people come into that space that you don't have that assurance of, you may have a tendency to kick out at them, move them out to the boundary. Okay, so just keeping in mind, ostriches have a whole lot of different facets to them, just like you do. But the one thing they don't do is they don't hide their head in the sand and pretend like something isn't there. They will acknowledge when something is going wrong. They will go to ground, literally. They will ground and center and look for that stability before making their next move. But the windmill on top of this island, windmills have very, very strong spiritual significance as well for stability, as well as transformation and change. They also represent the energy of humans working with nature and letting nature work with you and for you rather than trying to work against it. So rather than like bulldozing things flat, we can build paths through things, allow them to grow while we move through them. You know, we don't have to bulldoze everything flat in our path. So the message I'm getting from this card directly from the image for you guys is recognize when things need to be changed, when you need to be moving, when you need to be going to ground, when you need to be centering and focusing on your stability, your integrity, your truth of who you know you are. And you walk with pride, you walk with dignity, you walk with courage. Ostriches don't look afraid, and you don't want to be on the wrong side of them because they can hurt you, you know? So we don't ever want to be harmful necessarily. We have more intelligence than a bird does. So we can take that extra, go level up and not necessarily harm other people, but to move them out of that space where they are no longer in our personal space, in our bubble. So not being afraid of movement, but understanding that all movement needs to be grounded first in the very, very basics, that you feel safe, that you feel love of self, and that you have a genuine love for the path that you are on, whatever it is. If those two things aren't happening, then you need to circle back to that space where you can go back to being coming from that place of love, place of self-acceptance, self-compassion, integrity, courage, and strength and stability. So let's take a look in the book and find out what the reading says for our card for today. And also, obviously, card number 28 reduces down to a 30 or 3, which is the first of the perfected Tesla numbers. So, and the strongest number, we've been getting tons of 3s and 9s in particular with these readings the past however many months. I can't tell you how many times. So just keeping that in mind. 3 is the most stable number. It is the geometrically most stable form, the triangle or the pyramid, three-sided pyramid. So also keeping that in mind, stability and strength and working with nature, working with the natural forces. So Alrighty, our book says you are in time for positive forward movement. This is the time for positive momentum as you come out of a period of restriction. You're in a stage of new adventure and discovery. You may feel compelled to take a trip, change your hair, move your home or your business. Regardless, you can't remain where you are anymore. You feel compelled to go forward. No matter what your inquiry, you will see your dreams take form and doors previously shut begin to open as if by magic. Movement is also a state of mind. The fog lifts, and you now know the actions you need to take. This is not the time for fear. Let it go and move forward. Well, yes, I do believe we said that also. I do believe that we got that with that message very clearly. So being sure that you're aware of where you are. So definitely going back to that practice of mindfulness, we know how important that is, being aware of what we're thinking, how we're feeling, because that determines what we say, how we say it, what our meaning is behind it, and what the meaning is behind our actions that we take. So we want to make sure they're always coming from a place of self-love first, and then love for everyone else. We are all connected. There's nothing that you do that does not affect me. And there's nothing that I do that does not affect you. So we have a little bit of a responsibility to each other as well as to ourselves to be taking the path that we know is coming from that place of love. Walking with grace, walking with integrity, walking with purpose, moving forward. So whatever it is, if you have a project, we just came past a new moon, which is also time for new beginnings, new projects, getting started with new jobs, new houses, new relationships, all of that kind of stuff, or existing situations and leveling them up, evolving them up, moving them into an even more full expression of love and integrity and grace. So that's the message for today, is moving in your integrity and your truth and your strength. That's your purpose in life, is to just have integrity and grace as you are walking through this life. Beautiful message. I love this. Thank you again so much for joining us. I do hope that that blessed you. Feel free to leave any comments that you feel like doing. You don't have to, but when you do comment, it does give you an even closer connection with the reading, with the message, and with this energy. So I encourage you, if you feel so inclined, to do that as well. So have the most amazing day. You are being advised to move forward in your spirit, with your spiritual movement, as well as with your physical movement, and make sure that it is all in alignment, that it is grounded in stability and grace and integrity and truth. I love you. You are awesome. You really are. I know it's hard to believe sometimes, but you are awesome. Have the most amazing, fantastic day. Namaste and ciao for now.